Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel for another Hot Toys review. Today we finally have the Mandalorian Beskar armor coming to the US for us to review and to look at, so you can decide if this is something you want to buy. I've been waiting for this figure for a long time. I actually pre-ordered this and wanted this more than the original Mandalorian figure that we got last year. I have since sold that figure to pay for this one, and I do not have a regret about it. I am super excited and can't wait to unbox this with you guys. Taking a look at the box, it is a slipcover style box, which is my favorite type of art box. I do like these better than the ones that you have to open from the top and slide out. I like that slip over cover. I think that looks really nice. Makes it just look a little bit more high end. This is TMS 14. This is not the deluxe version. That would be TMS 15, and that comes with an extra baby Yoda and the whistling birds effect, as well as more Beskar plates, as well as the Beskar carrier. If anybody's new to Hot Toys and doesn't know what TMS means, it means TV Masterpiece Series. So we have TMS and MMS. MMS would be Movie Masterpiece Series, and that's kind of how they have the two separated. On the bottom you can see it does have a nice Star Wars wrap in bright orange color. Just gives a little bit of extra life to the box itself, because Star Wars typically does do black boxes. They try to keep it clean and simple. If we lift the slip cover up, underneath we have a nice portrait of the figure. That's also a really nice touch. He's using the flamethrower there. I'm so excited to get that effect on the figure and talk about that a little bit more. And when we remove that, we can see the figure underneath, and boy does he look great. Now let's get him out of the box. Let's take a look at the base that he comes with, as well as the accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure. Alright guys, first we have the base for the Mandalorian, and we've seen this base used many times in the Star Wars line before, so there isn't too much new to talk about. This is the same exact base from the OG Mando, except this comes with the dynamic stand, which is cool because it comes with the rocket pack now, so you can put him in flight poses and whatnot. So that's really cool. He comes with the flexible pole, and then we also have his waist grabber. And there's some padding here. Because he is somewhat of a cloth figure, I don't think we'll have a problem with his outfit being ruined by the grip of this, so you should be good to go with that, so no worries. I would like this base a lot more if they got away with these footprints. It really annoys me because, you know, unless you're having the figure stand in that exact spot, it's kind of uneven or not level, or, you know, sometimes it just doesn't look right. You know, you have two footprints there. Why not just keep the sand waves kind of going and just leave it as it is? Just my opinion. Having said that, I do like the nice sand effect. It's a nice dioramic base. We have the metal plate that says Star Wars The Mandalorian. That's a really nice touch. All right, without further ado, let's remove this guy and get the accessories out here. All right, guys, so before we get into each individual accessory a little bit closer here, keep in mind some of these are the exact same from the original Mandalorian release, so we won't be going over them in too much detail, but I will give you guys a good look. Starting with the shoulder plate here, we do have the mud horn sigil, which is a really cool effect. I will probably be putting this one on my figure. Lots of cool pitting and kind of like extra texture around the edges, just to give it that extra depth and realism look. Just makes it kind of pop a little bit more and doesn't look so flat. It is Velcro, just like the original release. Here we have his blade, which is really cool. Looks really really worn and used. The handle has like paint starting to kind of wear off from use. Really cool effect. You got that extra detail in the blade. Just a really great piece. Here we have the child's necklace that you can put on him. You do have to remove his head in order to do that. We have a detonator, which we also had with the first release. It does have somewhat of a felt pad on the back, so when you put it in his holster, it doesn't rub, but we'll see that there's actually like a gap there when we look at the figure. Here we have his tracking fob, which was more important in the first release because now we have the child right there. So, but if you just want that tracking fob to have, maybe put it on his belt, you know, you can have that. We have a cool Beskar plate. Really cool lines running through just to give, again, that metal kind of that depth. I really wish they would have given us more of these with this release, but you can get more with the DX version. Here we have the Whistling Birds attachment. This does not come with the Whistling Birds effect, but you can kind of have this, you know, and make sure that and show that he's kind of getting ready to use it. Here we have the torch that can go on the side of the helmet. Of course, his trusty pistol, which is the exact same as the last version, although the last one had a little bit more wear and tear, more weathering than this one does, but it's, for the most part, it's the exact same. We have a grappling hook, and this does feel pretty sturdy. I believe it is like a metal, and you can just see right there. We have his pulse rifle. Really cool transition of colors there, kind of showing that heat treatment. I really like that a lot. The scope does come off. Not going to show you here. We have showed that in our last video. And then just really cool, you know, scrapes and scratches, just showing that extra weathering. Unfortunately, they didn't fix the pin here, so you just have to be careful with that. You know, make sure you don't break that off when inserting it. This does flip up, and you can put a cartridge in there if you'd like. But really cool, just like the first version. This is one of my favorite new accessories that they gave us, this flamethrower flame, I guess. This attaches to the Mando, and I am definitely going to be using this. I really like the paint application here. I like how the light makes this look when it's kind of shining through it. And then you just have that color transition that just makes it look that much more real. A deep orange here, and then it kind of goes to clear and blue. Just a really nice touch. Very solid piece. And then here we have the flame effects for the jetpack. We have seen these in Boba Fett figures before, so nothing new, but it doesn't mean it's bad. It's great that they added this, so very cool to have. Another great piece is the jetpack that they gave us. One of the cool things here is this does not clip in. It's got this foam pad here, and it is magnetic, so it will just attach to the back of Mando. Don't have to worry about fiddling with it and trying to get it in place, worry about little hooks breaking off. Just a really, really cool idea by Hot Toys. And they did a great job with this jetpack. And you can see the dirt and grease on it and just different kind of speckles and wear. You know, definitely has a lot of character, being that it's just kind of silver. You know, you would maybe think that maybe it would look flat, but this Mandalorian has a lot of cool things, and it looks really screen accurate, and it really stands out on its own. And finally, we have the child, Grogu, in all his glory. I'm so glad that they added this figure. This is really great. It's mostly a sculpt, so the arms don't move. The head does move, and a little bit up and down as well. But really great paint application. Like, they did not skimp over this guy. He looks great. Like, look at the eyes. You know, the paint itself is just really good. You got the pink in the ears. You got some weathering down here in the clothing robe. This is a hard sculpt, by the way, so it is not real cloth. But I am super, super excited that they added this. Almost forgot the hands. These are the least impressive thing that I talk about, are hands. I don't get too excited about them. These are the exact same from the original Mandalorian. We have the orange with the looks like Shore Trooper hand plates here. I mean, they're really cool. It's just, you know, nothing new here. All right, guys, so now that we've seen all the accessories, let's get the figure out here and get a closer look. And here we have the figure out of the box, and here's our first look at the upper body of the Mandalorian. I know a lot of folks like the OG Mando because the hodgepodge armor gave him a lot of character and depth, but this guy really shines on his own right. This Beskar armor, it looks super clean and impressive, and I think this figure has a lot of detail in its own right. The armor is going to be a lot cleaner as opposed to the original Mando. You know, in the other one, you could see just a lot of dirt and grime in the edges here. he's not going to have so much of that, but there is a lot of pitting, and I don't know if you can see it, but it just gives that metal, that texture and that character that makes it look like an actual metal instead of plastic. And we can change out the shoulder plate pretty easily. And there we go. And that's what he looks like with that shoulder plate, which I think I'll keep on. The belt and the shoulder strap are going to be the exact same from the original Mandalorian. Really cool chest piece here. I really dig this clean look, and I think he looks amazing. Let's go down to the midsection. All right, here at the midsection, we can put the detonator in. Maybe. So unfortunately, my part of the belt where the detonator sits, the mold is like pushed in and defective, and this is the best that I could get it to fit. It looks terrible, so I'm just going to take that out. I might have to request that Sideshow send me a new figure. Look at that. I mean, you can just see how it's kind of warped. So the detonator doesn't even fit in mine, which is a bummer and pretty annoying. These shells here are removable, so you can take them out. And here is the hole where the rifle would plug into. You can see he's got all new gauntlets as well. The belt itself is going to be more of a plastic than a pleather material. On my other version, this holster really kind of bounced out a lot more than this one does, so this one sits a little bit better, more flush to the body. And you can see his cape, and it does have the hole here. It does have the belt loop right here so that you can attach the rifle. But again, just really good paint application to the armor itself. It may look a little simple, but in person it really stands out. He looks super clean. I love this look. This is a rubber piece underneath. I do wish it had a little bit more depth to it as well, but I have looked at pictures and it is technically screen accurate. It was like a real flat piece. It just kind of grabs my eye a little bit and looks more fake than anything. Real quick too, we have his thigh plates here. These are also Velcro. This piece here is really cool. It's from his old armor, and if you can see, but just looks like actual damage to the armor itself. And then over here, it's almost like somebody was like welding it to fix some damage to it, and like there's like this weld mark or just really hot metal material that was put onto this piece before it cooled. And just this is kind of the last hodgepodge piece of the figure that we have, but it looks really great. You can see his boots here. He still has the rifle shells here as well. And going down to the feet, we do have the split cut boot design, which is great. Going to give us a lot of articulation in the ankle. You can see the great detail in the boots, really close up, like it looks like a real leather. These boots were made for walking. It looks like he's been walking through, you know, Tatooine and all the other planets, and looks like there's like mud on them, as well as just kind of just that leathery look, that leathery material. Really, really great job by Hot Toys. All right, so here we do have the full figure here, and again, he looks really nice. Can't wait to get him into the display, but first let's take a look at the articulation of the figure. His head is on a joint, and you really look down. See how far he can look up. Pretty good too. So if you got him in a flying pose, you know, looking up, that should be working out pretty good for you. Now keep in mind, this guy does have a fat suit on. I've seen a lot of people online wanting to remove that. Obviously that's your own choice to do that or whatnot, and some people have gotten really creative on how they're doing it. It will help with the articulation, but I don't plan on doing that. But you can just kind of see this is about as far up as he goes. There is a swivel in the arm here. He does have a double bend at the elbow, and wrists have full rotation. In the waist, this Armor plate is going to restrict a lot of abdomen movement here, so he really doesn't have much. He has a little bit of a swivel here. Pretty good movement in the legs. The pants are a little baggy to help with articulation. And going forward, almost at a 90. The knee has a double bend. Look at that. Look how far back that thing goes. And we do have a swivel here in the thigh. And with the boots here, we do have good movement here and some side to side. Alright, now to insert the flame to the flamethrower, it's really simple. You take this flat piece here and you just kind of stick it under the gauntlet and you line up this little blade with the flamethrower piece. And there you have it. It's about as high up as I can get his arm though, so. But yeah, really cool. Same thing with the grappling effect. You just slide that right under as well. To get the rocket pack on, it's as simple as placing it right on top. Great job by Hot Toys fixing the issue that everybody had with the Boba Fett, trying to get it in place, get the hooks to go into the right spots. Because we have this felt here, you don't have to worry about any paint rubbing. Really great idea by Hot Toys, an easy solution to fix that problem with these types of figures. Alright guys, so while we get this figure into some poses and show them off to you, let's talk about some things we really like about the figure and some things that not so much. The things that I really like about this figure are the armor upgrade to the Beskar armor. I really did like the OG Mando, but I prefer this one to that one, and I think this is the best Mandalorian we have. I love the fact that they included the child. They didn't have to do that. They could have sold him separately for a certain price or just not included him at all. I really am excited to have him as part of this Mandalorian figure. I also love the new accessories that they added, like the jetpack and the flamethrower effect. Just gives you that much more ideas and ways to pose him, and so much more fun to have with the figure. The only thing that I really dislike about the figure is that they didn't fix the pulse rifle peg. Would have been nice if they made that into a magnet so that we wouldn't have to worry about breaking that peg off. And the other thing that really annoys me about the figure is just that his side satchel where the detonator goes seems to be warped, and I cannot get that detonator to slide in place there. So I'm either going to have to take this figure and return it, or he's going to be posed without that detonator in his belt, and it might look a little bit weird. Other than that, there is nothing that I do not like about this figure. I think the articulation is really good. I think the look of the figure is really good. I think he comes with a ton of accessories, especially for not being a DX version. I thought the original Mando was in the top 2 of 2020 releases last year, and I think this figure looks even more impressive than that one with this new Beskar armor. So he's finally here in the States, so I would go out and get him before he is sold out. Alright guys, let me know in the comments which Mandalorian figure you prefer. Do you prefer this Beskar version, or do you prefer the original Mandalorian that we had with the hodgepodge armor? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and be a part of the Jedi Night's Watch. Rob and I have a lot of fun, and we'd like you to join in on that. Until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.